Ryan is coming off a disappointing season and the Cowboys missed the playoffs. He said he would not take a pay cut, putting his future in Dallas in question. On Friday, Des had a strong message for his critics. Let's take a listen.
I let a lot of things get in the way that shouldn't have never got in the way. I'm ready to make my mark. I don't care about what nobody's talking about. I can care less. You know, everybody ain't with Dez Bryant. They can kiss my ass. I'm no longer here to please the soul. I feel like I've been pushed to the edge, and I feel like I'm helped push it to the edge. You know, I got to get it. You know, a lot of plays was left on that field, you know, because of me. Me allowing my brain to be somewhere it shouldn't be. I should have been focused on football and straight football. And I promise, you know, that's what I'm going to do from here on out, regardless of whatever situation that I'm in.
Can you even imagine the idea of wearing the 8s in another uniform?
Nah, man. Hell no. It don't seem right. You know, it wouldn't be right. You know, I do want to bring this city, you know, a championship. You know, we ain't had one, you know, since the 90s.
We're joined once again by Eric Dickerson. Eric, how will this play out between Dez and the Cowboys?
Well, first of all, Dez is a Cowboy. I mean, he really is a Cowboy. And I think it's going to come down, it's always come down to money. I think that he'll have a meeting with Jerry Jones. I think Jerry really wants Dez there. Is he the same player that he was 3 years ago? No, he's not. Neither is Jason Witten. And I know you love Jason Witten. But I think...
I respect him. I don't love him.
Well, okay. Okay. We know, you love Sean Lee. My bad.
Yeah.
You love Sean Lee. Forgive me. I got it confused.
I actually love Dak Prescott, but go on.
Okay. All right. I feel like that Dez will be with the Cowboys. I feel like one thing is that he has an owner that's one of the best owners in football. And I had this conversation with Zeke at the Hall of Fame when Jerry got inducted. I put him to the side, I said, look, man, don't mess this up. I said, you have a great owner. I said, you get out there one of those bad owners. And the same thing with Dez. He goes to a team with bad ownership. I've been on those teams. I know what it's like. It's like working for a great organization. You know, you go to a bad organization, you're like, oh my God, why didn't I stay where I was at? Because like in Dallas, there's no state taxes. He's gonna make supposedly what, $12.5 million. Let's say they cut it in half. He's gonna make more being a Cowboy in the long term than not being a Cowboy. And I just feel like that he'd be better off staying in Dallas. I believe that Jerry would want him to stay in Dallas. If not, I'd be shocked. Because I think he's one of Jerry's guys. I talked to Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith said it best to me at the Hall of Fame. He said, look, I made a lot of money playing football, but Jerry Jones made me wealthy outside of football. Jerry takes care of his guys. Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, all those guys, they love Jerry. Man, I wish I would have had an owner like Jerry Jones. So I don't believe that Dez, if he's in his right mind, he'll stay right in Dallas.
I don't believe that's going to be a decision. And although Jerry, I think Steven is wielding a little bit more power now than we previously thought. And I think Steven is ready to cut bait. Steven Jones, the son, who kind of runs
He's been the out front spokesman about this issue again and again. And as you say, he's laying breadcrumbs toward cut.
We know that he keeps saying this is a business.
Yeah.
Everybody, Dez makes a lot of money. Dez makes a lot of money. We know that the production is not meeting the income. So something's got to give. I don't believe, I personally, now he could come back at a reduced rate, but I believe they're clearing the decks to go ahead and move on without Dez. Because the benefit of bringing him back is for what? He does not have that relationship with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott throws more interceptions, has a lower completion percentage, throwing the ball in his direction than any other player on the team. So bringing him back to do what? I know he's saying, oh, I'm about to make my mark. CD, if you ain't made your mark by now, in year 8, you ain't finna make no mark. And I let outside things. You mean to tell me you that fragile? Your psyche is that fragile? What someone says about you on this show affects the way you play? Really?
That's what you were thinking about during the football game?
To me, it seemed like he was talking about stuff outside of football, not people talking about him. Like some players can't play with a distraction, and the distraction could be divorce, it could be family issues, and some players can play with distractions.
His distraction was drops, not getting open, not making plays, no 100-yard game, interception rate is up, completion percentage down, they throw in my direction. Those were the distractions he's talking about.
Eric Dickerson. I love you, man, but I cannot tell you how vehemently I disagree with your take on this, because everything you talked about Jerry Jones, a man I respect and like, I don't love the bottom line takeaway to your stance on this, because it suggests that in one way, and only one way, Jerry is like the worst owner in pro football because he gets way too close to his players, especially a Dez Bryant. And he is looking the other way while Dez became a broken down liability last year. He ruined Dak Prescott's year. He ruined game plan after game plan because they kept looking at it saying, wait, you're going to single cover Dez, number 88, with your second best corner? That's what kept happening, game after game. And Dak kept saying, my read says I got to throw it to 88 because it's the second corner on. And it was just disaster after disaster. He led the league in drop passes. He also led the league in lack of separation because he got away from nobody.
No.
He's just broken down. I can just show you the numbers, all the numbers. 2014, he was that was one of the all-time great dominant wide receiver
There was
years.
a serious discussion.
Yeah.
Who's
He was,
better? Julio Jones or Dez Bryant? Who would you rather have? They're not even.
I didn't in the same conversation now.
Okay. So now, if Jerry's going to hang on, like Dez thinks that he was born to be a Dallas Cowboy, which means you're born to retire as a Dallas Cowboy. It doesn't work that way to me. And again, you're in this league, in any pro sport, you're only as good as tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Your last game.
Hey, you got to keep earning, and he earned nothing. He earned the right to be somewhere and start over next year. That's what
Emmitt Smith was revered. He finished in Arizona.
And it was pretty pathetic.
Larry Allen, I can make a case. Larry Allen is the greatest offensive lineman to ever play.
Yep.
He went to San Francisco.
He did.
There have been far better players in a Cowboy uniform that did not get to retire. Now, they may have came back inside the ceremonial one-day contract, Skip, but they didn't get to retire in that number, in that uniform. Dez, you haven't delivered championships, and just look at the production. Everybody says 2015, okay, that was just a bad year. You know what happened. Okay, 2016. So now we're 3 years removed from 2014, and we're still saying, okay, Dez is not that guy that he once was. But you're going to think he's going to get it now. How? When? I mean, what's going to transpire?
I think the big thing is the pay cut. I'll ask you this question. So let's just say he does take a pay cut. Let's say he goes down to $5 million.
Right.
Will the Cowboys keep him? Yes or no?
For me, here's the thing. When you ask somebody of taking a pay cut, you believe that they'll be more motivated to and maybe recoup some of the money that you're taking from them. They ain't got nothing to do with whether or not he can play. $5 million, $15 million. Antonio Brown does not play. Antonio Brown plays the same way last year. When he made 60, he was the highest paid, as he did 2-3 years ago when he wasn't the highest paid.
But Antonio Brown's a speedster. I mean, this guy, you're talking about a guy, these are two different seasons. You're talking about a guy that can really get separation for real. Yeah. I mean, Dez has never been that guy. But, you know, Dez always, he was always
a lot of jump balls.
Jump balls, that clutch catch, the things he's not doing now.
But here's the thing. You can do that when you're young and you're athletic. But what happens when the athleticism starts to wane, when those injuries start to mount, and now all of a sudden that 40-inch vertical goes to 30, and you can't jump over someone? Now what are you going to do? What about the technique? You see,
I think the big thing is the drops. I mean, you know, dropping the ball.
So he going to catch him over for $5 million as opposed to 16?
Man, I mean, I can't say yes or no to that. You never know. It's each season. It depends on the season he had. Now, let's just say, hypothetically, come back and he has a great season. Yeah. Then what?
What's the likelihood of somebody having 3 down years, then following out the 4th year with a great one? How many times do you see that happen?
It's rare. I got to go there. That's rare.
Exactly.
That's rare.
It's time to clear the decks, to cut bait and start fresh. You could save $12.5 million against the cap, and you could go get younger, hungrier, more.
And maybe this is the best thing for Dez. Maybe him going somewhere else. Yeah. Having to start over.
Somebody will give him a shot.
Yes.
Yeah, just because he's Dez Bryant.
But I still not. Being a Cowboy means more to.
Well, I got it.
Yeah, but I agree. I mean, I do agree with you with that. Hey, if you're not producing, you got to go. I mean, it is what it is.
What you want me to like? This ain't no like. You don't sign.
Hey, you're not football is. You know, you're not football.
Well,
Coach,
maybe this is why Steven has sort of taken over being the spokesman for this issue.
Yeah.
I think he's telling
like Daddy.
Papa, like, hey,
Daddy.
Let me handle
Yeah, I
it.
got you.
Because, I mean, Jerry has a tendency to get, like you say, gets too close to the player.
He loves Des
But
Bryant.
that's
He made it
exactly.
clear.
He loves Des Bryant.
Yes, he does.
And that's what happens, Skip. And that's why Coach Belichick, he always keeps his distance, because there will come a time that your closeness might inhibit your ability to part ways with someone.
Even with Tom Brady.
And that's what's happening with Jerry. His closeness to these guys,
Yep.
like, man, these my buddies. I done had them with the hives to eat.
Yep. What's the old bromide in sports? It goes all the way back to Branch Rickey in baseball. You should trade a player 1 year before you think you should.
Trade him, right.
And in this case, that was last year. He should have been traded ahead of last year, but no, they hung on, and now they're going to hang on to the bitter end. It looks like, but
Well,
man.
that's kind of Jerry's style, though,
It
right?
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
we just see that with Tony Romo.
Yeah.
The players, they say Jerry loves his players.
He does.
When you like to play for Jerry Jones?
I love to play.
It's been hard for me to wear that star, but man, I wish I could have played
Skip
for
is
Jerry.
the reason why I haven't gotten a Christmas ornament in 2 years. Skip is the reason.
Is that the reason?
Yeah. Make me say bad things about the Cowboys, and now everybody's up in arms with me. I don't get a Christmas ornament.
But you be hating on the Cowboy. I mean, I ain't no Cowboy fan, but God, at least you be.
He gave Dak Prescott an F
F.
last year. An F?
How?
Huh? Let me tell you how I do.
Like this.
Odell Beckham is already worried about the preseason, and we'll discuss that next.